This is Saxon Math for 6th grade. Today we're doing lesson number 54, ratio word problems. You already know what word problems are. Let's talk a bit about the word ratio. A ratio looks like a fraction, but instead of being parts to whole, it's parts to part. So for example, if there was a ratio of 12 boys to 13 girls in the class, that would mean that there were 12 boys, 13 girls, and 25 students altogether. Let's look a bit at what a ratio looks like. Here's an example of a ratio, 2 to 3. If the ratio is 2 to 3, and let's say the 2 is blue marbles to green marbles in my game. If for every 2 blue marbles, there are 3 green marbles. Okay, let's say there are 10 blue marbles in total. How many green ones are there? The ratio is 2 to 3. The actual number is 10 to something. To solve this kind of problem, you can do it a couple of ways. One, you can say 2 times 5 is 10, so 3 times 5 is 15. Or an easier way when we get to larger numbers is to cross multiply. To say 3 times 10 equals 2 times x. Some students like to then combine that into one step. They say 3 times 10 divided by 2 gives me x. And that's correct also. Using this, let's look at what some of our word problems look like. You must draw, because you're going to have to do this again later in the course, a ratio box to solve these problems. This is a ratio box. It's a square that you split into 4 sections. On the left side of the square, I want you to title it ratio. On the right side, I want you to title it actual. Just like over here, here was our ratio, here is our actual number. We're going to start with them in a box. In our word problem today, it says we have parrots and macaws, which are both types of birds. And the problem tells us that our ratio of parrots to macaws is 5 to 7. So I'm going to write 5 in as my ratio of parrots, to 7 is my ratio of macaws. It says, in our word problem, that if our ratio of parrots to macaws is 5 to 7, our actual number of parrots is 750. How many macaws do we have? And I put an M in here because we want to find the number of macaws. Now that I've filled in my box, I'm going to turn this into a problem that looks very much like this, so I can solve it. 5 to 7 becomes 5 to 7 equals 750 to m. 750 to m. Here's our ratio of 5 to 7. Here's our actual 750 and we're not sure how many. Solve it the same way. You can cross multiply 7 times 750 equals 5 times m. Or you can combine it into one step. 7 times 750 divided by 5 gives you m. Either way, m equals 1,050. Let's try another one together. Make sure that you're caught up before you move on to this part of the video. I'd like you to draw a ratio box. Always label it the same. Ratio, that's going to go on the left. Actual, that's going to go on the right. This problem is about boys and girls. In a class, I have boys and I have girls. The ratio is 5 to 4. So fill in your ratio box. 5 boys to 4 girls. The actual number of boys, we don't know. I just put a B in there for boys. The actual number of girls is 200. Take a moment and work ahead of me. Using this information, set up your problem, much like this or like that, and solve how many boys are in the class. Pause the video, come back when you're done. Welcome back. Here's what you should have done. 5 to 4 is our ratio. Equals our actual number, b to 200. I can cross multiply. 5 times 200 equals 4 times b. Or I can do it in one step. 5 times 200 divided by 4 equals b. Either way, b equals 250. There are 250 boys in the class for 200 girls, which is the same as the ratio, 5 to 4. Use the same method when you solve your problems in class today.